Hey, Indian Creek 8th grade students. Welcome to today's e-learning live stream. It is Friday, April 24th. We're going on, I couldn't even tell you how many days. I want to say this is our 25th day of e-learning, and that's not even counting weekends. Well over a month. But it's Friday, we've got the weekend to look forward to, and I think this is going to be a pretty short stream for today. Thank you to those of you who are tuning in live. I can see it's just a handful for now. I know everyone's got stuff going on, and hopefully has plans to get out and do something for over the weekend. Because I don't know if you saw, but it's looking like the shelter-in-place order is going to be extended to the end of the month. So we're going to have another month at least. It looks like of what we're doing. So. Without any further ado, let's jump into our daily updates. So yesterday we had 41 out of 51 people submitted our ELA attendance form. That's good, right on track with where we've been. And then with the quizzes reviews, we had 15 people who did the Unit 10 review and then 13 each for the 2 different review quizzes. So hopefully those of you found that helpful, those who did it. Because there is another quizzes review, or actually I guess technically a quiz that's running today until tomorrow on, as the actual quiz for Unit 10. All right, and then our class plan for today, we'll go over the Google form for attendance, one more poll question. If anybody has any ideas for, a theme of responses for next week, we did some of the different song journals. We're doing some this or that. Now we've been doing some poll questions this week. If anybody else can think of any other types of questions you would want to see, can either be something more serious or something that's more fun to include on Google Forms. Please send those out to me. I'm always open to suggestions. We'll go over the allegory chart for Boxer and Clover because that was the assignment in language arts for yesterday. And then it's Genius Hour. It's Friday, so just keep on keeping on with that. And then we'll briefly touch on the vocab quiz that's running, and then also just another reminder about the civil rights activist biography in social studies. All right, so then for yesterday's journal, the question was, you get to choose 3 foreign countries to visit on a vacation. Which 3 are you choosing? And the runaway favorite was Australia. Second place, not one that I would have guessed, was Canada. I guess, it helps that it's the closest foreign country. And then a 3-way tie for third was Italy, Germany, and Greece. So, and then if you're looking at our top 5, Australia had 16 people vote for it. Canada with 10. The other 3, Italy, Germany, and Greece that I mentioned before, each got 9. Mexico and France just missed out on the top, tying for the top 3 with 8, and then Ireland had 7. All right, so you can see a pretty good mix of different areas people would want to go. There were plenty of different countries that got more than 1 vote, which that's cool to see where everyone else would travel to. Australia, I think it'd be awesome. The only thing is that the flight to get there is going to be super long, but I'm sure that it would be worth it in the end. All right, so that was yesterday's journal highlights. And then let's jump over to today, to our Google form. We have part 1, just a reminder, I'm going to be going over Boxer and Clover today for the allegory chart. And then a reminder, anybody who's looking for additional practice on the story, additional assignments, anything in general that you want to work on, email me and we can work together to create something that you want to work on. Whether it has to do with Animal Farm or not, this is the time where, we're wanting to make sure that your skills are not falling off. You're going to be ready for high school, and that anything that you want to work on, that you want to get extra practice with, let me know and we can come up with a plan together. I had a couple different students reach out to me yesterday, one wanting to work on some writing skills, another one working on speaking. And we were able to come up with some unique assignments that hopefully will be fun and also help grow their skills. So anybody else who would like to take advantage of that, just shoot me an email and we can plan something out. Then just a reminder, there will be an optional quizzes review for Unit 10. 90% is the score that you're looking to get now. It's 45 questions total. So I want to say that's about 28 on Unit 10, word roots and words specifically, and then about 15 to 18 review word roots that we've had from Units 1 through 9. So just don't forget, those review roots will be on there. And the game code is listed there on the form. It's also sent out in Google Classroom. And then finally, it's Genius Hour. It's Friday. We're down to our last month, so hopefully people are getting close to being done with their research, starting to work on their presentation. I've had a couple different people reach out to me recently about their Genius Hour presentations. If you have any questions or ideas, or you're not sure if something's acceptable or if it'll work out, let me know now so we're not waiting until the very, very end and you're trying to scramble to put something together before the end of the school year. All right, I am looking forward to seeing these. Like I said, these are some of my favorite projects that students do every semester. And I'm hoping that the fact that just because we're social distancing, everyone's got their Chromebook, can do some research, put some things together. So I'm looking forward to learning more about your areas of interest and expertise and see what everyone was able to come up with. And then finally, our attendance response for this week. We're back onto food. Sorry, it was one that I think will be very interesting to see the response, because I feel like people are very passionate about certain areas of this topic, and that is candy. So you can only save 3 brands of candy that you can snack on for the rest of time. Which 3 are you saving? I decided to go by specific brands. So the ones that you're picking are including every product that falls under that umbrella. So for example, Reese's would include the cups, the mini cups, Reese's Pieces, the Reese's Eggs, any of those. Hershey bars, you get the regular Hershey bar, dark chocolate, Hershey with almonds, all that type of stuff. So the interesting thing for this one, I feel like, will be because I have not split it up between chocolate candy and non-chocolate or fruit-flavored candy. So some people might have an easier time picking their 3 favorite chocolate-based candy bars or 3 fruit-flavored candies, but now you've got them all in a mix. So it'll just be interesting to see, because you can only pick 3, which ones people are going to go with. So make sure that you get that in on the form today, and then on Monday I will have the results for 8th grade's ultimate candy drawer that they would put together. All right, so the other part of language arts for today was just to go over a couple sections of the allegory chart for Animal Farm. So I will pause here for a second for anybody who'd like to open up their allegory chart to follow along. All right, and then here's Napoleon and Snowball. These are the 2 that we already filled in earlier this week. So just as a reminder, if you didn't get a chance to fill those in, I'll have them here on the screen. You can pause, and jot things down, but most of you who are reading along probably knew, especially in chapter 5 and then into chapter 6, that Napoleon is the allegory for Joseph Stalin, Snowball the allegory for Leon Trotsky. And then you can look at what I've written in terms of the connection between the 2. I'll scroll down so that my head's not blocking Trotsky. And you can put it in your own words, write your own pieces of support, evidence, connection, because for these 2 characters especially, there are a bunch. Those are pretty obvious allegories. And then scrolling down here, the 2 characters that I asked you to fill in yesterday were Boxer and Clover. I gave the hint on the live stream for those of you who tuned in that they are connected. The fact that Boxer and Clover are both horses, that meant that their allegories are going to be very closely connected. And they are the male and female working class of Russia under Joseph Stalin. And so if you come down to, and we'll see how my computer, it looks like it's going to cooperate. But if you come down to the extra additional information that I gave about these different groups, you will see that, where do we go? Here's male and female working class. They were very effective. They were dedicated to their work, but they were not very well educated. And a lot of these working class, lower class citizens were fooled into following Stalin because he was a quote unquote communist in name, but really it was more, he was the leader and he used a lot of propaganda. He had different pieces of media and advertisements portraying him as being a great leader. And because the working class was not as educated, they were blindly ones who just followed him without really being able to think things through or know any better. And so a lot of them stayed loyal. And unfortunately, Stalin was able to take advantage of a lot of the working class when he was in charge. And so if you come back up here to Boxer and Clover, I said, Boxer's the hardest worker on the farm. He's an enormous beast. He's huge. He does the work of 3 horses, but he's not very smart, and he always believes in Napoleon because he can only see Napoleon in this positive way. And I mentioned that the 2 mottos Boxer has, I will work harder and Napoleon is always right. They reflect that he's a blind follower of Napoleon and that he's dedicated to doing what he thinks is best and what he can for the farm. And these both mirror what the working class, how they approached life under Joseph Stalin. And so that's what I had for Boxer. And then just for Clover, kind of a similar thing. She's the other quote unquote workhorse, literally, on the farm. She's a motherly figure. She's dedicated to Boxer and to the farm in general, so that they have that connection. She's a little bit smarter than Boxer, but she's not intelligent enough to the point where she can grasp any complex sort of thinking. And so, again, she's another one who gets taken advantage of by Napoleon and the rest of the pigs. And this is kind of what life was like for the female working class under Stalin. All right, so Boxer, male working class, a bunch of different connections, but basically very hard workers, not overly educated, and taken advantage of by the leader, Joseph Stalin / Napoleon. You have your male version in Boxer, female version in Clover. All right, so those were the 2 allegory chart sections for you to fill in for yesterday. And other than that, it's just Genius Hour Day in Language Arts. Hopefully everyone's favorite day of the week, and hopefully a day that will bring you a lot of success in preparing your projects. All right, then I just wanted to quickly bring up, just for anyone who was wondering what the code was or anything like that, just a reminder, there is a quiz that's running until 10 o'clock tomorrow. It is on the test for Unit 10. Excuse me. There are 45 questions total, and then the code there, 353536, almost had 335s in a row. So just for anyone who's interested in that, you can log on and attempt it multiple times if you would like to. But remember that 90% is the score we're looking for. So that means you can miss 4, but not 5. All right, but other than that, that's all I have for Language Arts for today. And then I just briefly wanted to jump over to the civil rights activist biography slides. Just a reminder that the goal is for you to be finishing those today. However, what I would like for you to do is take your time that you would for social studies today. Remember that you're creating the slide. You want to include, birth and death information, a picture, a biographical section, and then a section connecting your figure to the civil rights movement, how he or she impacted it. Also, don't forget that you want to have your speaker notes as where you're going to put your sources. So whatever websites or books you got information from, please put that information in your speaker notes. But we would like for you to do your work that you would for today. So take whatever time you would, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour. And then if you're done and if you're satisfied with your final product, turn it in. And I'm saying this, I put this into Google Classroom, but just in case you're listening and didn't read through everything, because I'm sure that there are some things that I post that people don't read all the way through. It's fine. I totally understand. If you're not finished, don't turn it in, and then we will go through and look and see how many people have it turned in, how many people, if there's anyone who feels like they need extra time, email us, and then we'll make the decision on if we're going to continue to give class time assigned to this next week, or if we're going to move on to our next assignment. Because, with this e-learning, timing is one of the trickier things, and obviously this would be something we could gauge much more easily if we were in class and could have the discussion. But with e-learning, we want to give you assignments that are going to be challenging, that are going to help you improve, but we also want to make sure that we give you enough time, but not so much time that you're sitting around and not having anything to do. So if the vast majority of people are done with these, turn them in, everyone's feeling good, then we'll be ready to move on. If a lot of people are expressing that they need extra time, they're wanting to do a second figure, they just feel like this week wasn't enough, then we'll be happy to provide more time moving forward. So it's just whatever's going to work out best for all of you, that's what we will do. So that's how we would like for you to approach social studies and this project. If you put in your time today and you turn it in and you're done, that's great. If you feel like you're not, then just don't turn it in, and there will be an announcement on Monday to either say, yes, pretty much everyone's done, go ahead and turn it in, or we had a lot of people who didn't finish and we will just wait and give, another day, 2 days to work on finishing this assignment. All right, so Genius Hour Day in Language Arts, there's the optional vocab quiz on Quizzes for any of you who would like to take it, and then just continuing on with your civil rights activist biography here for social studies. And that is all I have for you today. I hope that everyone, like I said, has a wonderful weekend. I hope that you all have been staying safe, been staying healthy, been finding some different things to do with your time, getting to spend more time with your family, playing games, maybe discovering some new hobbies, some new series, and still being able to get outside and enjoy, just even something as simple as a walk or hanging out in your backyard or anything like that. Like I said, we've got a few more weeks of this. I appreciate all the work that everyone has been doing. We've been really, really consistent with the high number of people who are submitting their attendance and emailing and getting their work in, and I'm just hoping that we'll see that continue on until the end of the school year. And like I said, if you want extra work, extra practice on certain skills, you feel like you're not ready for high school from a writing perspective or a speaking perspective, or like I said, if you have any, just even you want to reach out to someone who's not in your immediate family and because you have a question about something, or just feel like you would like to talk to an adult, we're here for anything that we can do to help all of you, because even though we can't be in the classroom with you, we still want to provide you with any resources, any services that we can. I know I say this every day, but just, I feel like that's a message that's worth repeating. We are here for you for whatever you feel like you need or would like help with. And that's something that I'm never going to stop saying, because that's something that we're never going to stop feeling. And even though we don't get to be in class anymore with you, we're still here for you, at our distance. So otherwise, though, like I said, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I'll be back on Monday with another week of streams. In the meantime, shoot me an email if you have any questions or anything like that. But until then, everyone stay safe, and I will see you all next time.